throughout the 1860s into the 1870s, labor unions are going to grow in the country. The first are going to be made up of skilled labor, like the National Labor Union here that was formed in 1866. It's made up mostly of skilled labor, and they were kind of discriminatory. They had no women membership, no African Americans in their members either. They did promote some equality measures, but for the most part, what they were looking for was an 8-hour workday, and they wanted inflation, which they kind of figured would help raise their wages, right? If the money is worth less, they would get paid more to make up for that. That's not always how it worked, but that's what they were thinking. What they're going to eventually get is Congress to accept the 8-hour workday. Congress is also going to limit immigration. Now, why is immigration such a big deal for these 1860s and 70s workers? Well, part of it is because the immigrants coming in were taking a lot of the unskilled labor jobs. And if you increase the number of workers that are coming in working on wages, you're going to decrease the amount that they would get paid. Another workers' organization in the 1860s is 1869, and it's going to increase its popularity throughout the 1870s, is the Knights of Labor. Now, the thing that made them different than the labor union, National Labor Union, is they accepted all wage earners, anybody that worked for an age, men, women, black, white, it didn't matter. If you had worked for a wage, you could join their union. So there's very little discrimination here. Things that they were pushing for, they also wanted an 8-hour workday. See, there's a theme that starts to develop here. 8-hour workday. They also pushed for equal pay for men and women on the job, because women were often getting paid a lot less than the men. And interestingly, they also supported the end of the convict leasing system. We talked about this a little bit before, but this is where the government would arrest mostly black men, force them to work on chain gangs, and then they would lease out their labor to the highest paying corporation, which basically meant that these people were working for almost nothing, which hurt the unions, because the corporations would hire the chain gang, pay the government, and not have to pay the workers. Okay. The Knights of Labor's membership is going to go from about 100,000 to about 700,000 by the 1880s, and that's where we'll pick up our story next.